Nicholas.
Was he born in Sicily or was he born here?
Nick was born in Sicily. But when we come here, we had been here 2 months. He caught pneumonia and died. He was the first one to die here in America of our clan.
What happened to Grace? Did she die in Sicily?
Well, Grace died when she was 6 years old, and that was after my sister, the oldest sister, Chancy, was born, or that was just before she was born. Grace died. So now we come to America and Nick died. Well, about a year later, in 1911, another child was born, and we named him, or Dad and Mom named him Nick, after the one that died. Well, he didn't die, he survived. Then, after Nick, came Angelo. But Angelo was born in Brooklyn. All the rest were born in Utica. And then after Angelo, there was Charlie. Charlie was born in Utica. And after Charlie, there was George, the smallest of the children, the youngest of the children. Well, that takes care of all the immediate family that within a few years. Have you got an automatic there?
Yep.
Okay now, Dad. I want to know everything about Grandma. Tell me about your mother.
How about your father? Grandfather?
What was her name? First of all, let's start with her name.
Well, my mother's name, maiden name, was Corral.
Ferraro. How do you spell that?
C-O-R-A-O. And she married my father, and her name became Gattuso. That was my father's name. That's my name. And my father married, he was an orphan. He was about 16 years and 6 months. And Mom was 17.
Oh, Grandma was older than Grandpa?
6 months older than Grandpa.
Ah.
Just like you and your own father.
And Dad was the only child, and when he was orphaned, he inherited the property that the folks had, his father and mother, and they had a fruit orchard.
Was that in the town or was that out in the country? The fruit orchard, was that in the country or was that in the town someplace?
It was in a place they call Partana, a mile from Mondello. And that was between Mondello and Palermo. And but seeing as he had been a spoiled child, hadn't worked, when he was left alone, he just squandered his inheritance by selling his property and not working. Soon after a while, the money gave out, and he had to go to work. But after that is when he married Mom.
I see.
Now, while he was in possession of this property,
And he became a fisherman after that.
when he got to be down and out, then his brother-in-law, Nick Corrao, took him under his wing, and he became a fisherman because Nick was a fisherman and he owned a boat. And so he changed from nothing. He had no trade, he had no experience of any kind, and he got to be a fisherman. But it was hard. And the first 2 years, well, not even two, yeah, just about 2 years, because he had to go into the service.
Oh, he was in the army too?
Oh, he had to be.
Oh, I didn't know that. You never told me that.
Well, it was mandatory for the men to become soldiers.
I see. Okay.
When you got to be 18, you didn't register, you were inducted.
I see.
So, but that was after a year and a half that he had been married. See? And so he went into the army. He was only there about a year or so, and then he came back home. So it was just more of a vacation than anything else.
Yeah.
And he resumed his fisherman's trade for a living.
I see.
And he kept that up quite a number of years until he decided that he would like to come to America. And in 1907, his cousin Mariano Spina sent him his fare, and he came to America.
How much was the fare then? Do you have any idea?
Well, I probably give you a rough estimate. Steerage. It was probably around $45 to $50.